As I'm looking at historical data in regard to downturns and then recoveries, usually there is a symmetry or a correlation between the depth of the decline and then the strength of the recovery. Whether it's a V-shaped decline, we'll have a V-shaped recovery, a U-shaped decline, a U-shaped recovery. If you look at what's happened in this recession, we have seen a pretty significant decline, but then a flat line really in regard to the recovery, which isn't consistent with prior recoveries. Do you have any idea why that's taking place?
No, I really don't. I can say that there have been two schools of thought going into this recovery. The one is the folks who have observed what you have, that the deeper recessions have had stronger recoveries, the more V-shaped, and those folks, of course, were optimistic that we're going to get a strong recovery. Then those have pointed out that the last two recessions had very mild recoveries. But both the last two recessions were also mild recessions as well. So it's been one of the instances where nobody's known whether we just now have milder recoveries from recessions. That's the way the labor market's changed, or whether we'll go back to the V shape, and where we have a steep drop, we have a steep recovery.
And maybe I could throw some ideas out there, because as I'm from a district in central and northern Wisconsin, and as I talk to job creators in our area, I continually hear them talk about uncertainty in the marketplace. And I think if you look at what's happened in Washington in recent years, we've done things that we traditionally haven't done. With a new health care bill, I think if you're an employer, that creates uncertainty in the marketplace. If you have a $14 trillion debt, and then this year we're projected to borrow $1.6 trillion, and then if you look at the president's budget, we're projected to borrow $1 trillion a year on average for the next 10 years. If you're a small businessman and you're looking at investing or growing your business, what I keep hearing is this potentially leads to much higher taxes, much less growth, and they're unwilling then to invest in their businesses. Or if you're a larger business and you can look anywhere in the world to invest, and you look at these massive debt charts in America, they go, this has serious economic consequences in America, and they're choosing to invest elsewhere. I mean, do you have any ideas on what I'm hearing in central and northern Wisconsin from our job creators?
Yeah, I would probably stay away from cause and effect, because we're very much a fact-oriented place. So I'll beg off on sort of discussing why I think things are happening, how they're happening.
Well, maybe if I could do this, I mean, are you aware of any economic studies that show a correlation between excessive deficits and large debts and long-term unemployment conditions? Are there a correlation between those two that you've seen in your studies?
Not really. I'm not really familiar. I don't know that there's a consensus on any of that. That's not a thing that I've studied before in the past.
Okay. I'll yield back my time.
Thanks.
Thank you, Congressman Mulvaney.